Picture this. Humanity's greatest rival is not a neighboring empire, a plague, or some earth-shattering asteroid, but a flock of pigeons. Yes, the same scrappy, bread-loving, rooftop-loitering birds you see every day. While we dismiss them as the flying rats of the modern world, there was a time, let's call it the Great Feathered Debacle, when pigeons almost toppled an entire civilization. Sounds absurd, right? Well, buckle up, because this isn't just another bird-brained story. The story begins in the late medieval era in the bustling city of Scartonia, a thriving hub of trade and art. Scartonia was known for its innovative approach to urban life, including the introduction of the first organized postal service, powered by pigeons. What could go wrong? Pigeons, after all, are cheap, reliable, and unlikely to unionize. Unfortunately, the Scartonians underestimated their feathery workforce. You see, pigeons were not just innocent messengers of love letters and tax notices. Over time, their population exploded, as pigeons tend to do when you feed them and give them cushy nesting spots on every public building. The Scartonians found themselves in a Hitchcockian nightmare, with thousands of pigeons swarming the city. It wasn't just unsightly, it was unsanitary. Streets were slick with pigeon droppings, roofs collapsed under the weight of nests, and the cacophony of cooing echoed through the nights like a relentless avian orchestra. The real trouble began when the pigeon problem started to affect the economy. Farmers in the surrounding countryside reported that pigeons were decimating crops, eating their way through grain stores like winged locusts. In the city, markets became war zones as desperate merchants tried to fend off flocks of birds attacking their wares. Imagine trying to sell bread while being dive-bombed by 50 feathered hooligans. Not exactly good for business. Meanwhile, Scartonia's famed pigeon-powered postal service turned into chaos. Overfed and overworked, the pigeons started delivering messages to the wrong recipients or simply refusing to deliver them at all. Love notes ended up in the hands of jealous spouses, while military strategies were intercepted by pigeons who decided to settle in enemy territories. If there's one thing worse than espionage, it's accidental espionage. As the crisis escalated, Scartonia's leaders convened an emergency council. Pigeon control measures were proposed, ranging from hiring falcons to instituting a citywide ban on breadcrumbs. One councilman even suggested taxing the pigeons, an idea that briefly gained traction before someone pointed out that pigeons don't carry wallets. But it was too late. The pigeons had achieved what no enemy army could. They disrupted Scartonia's food supply, communication networks, and public morale. People started fleeing the city in droves, abandoning the once prosperous metropolis to the feathered invaders. In the end, the solution came from an unlikely hero. A local baker named Lorna, whose hatred of pigeons was matched only by her resourcefulness. She concocted a scheme involving poisoned breadcrumbs and a clever network of decoy nests. Within months, the pigeon population dwindled, though not without some collateral damage, namely a few overzealous cats and an unfortunate visiting dignitary who mistook a decoy nest for a hat. The city of Scartonia eventually recovered, but its reputation never quite did. To this day, historians refer to the episode as a cautionary tale about hubris and the perils of relying on a species that considers statues a public restroom.